What's going on, guys? It's your boy Fight One Goose with AB Boxing News. Yesterday was whirlwind, chaos, madness of all kinds of crazy type of words, right? Your boy Canelo Alvarez has filed a lawsuit in California that's going to be taken to the grand jury, and which is not really a surprise. Canelo is about his money. He is a businessman. He is a prize fighter. You should have seen this coming. Is there some blame on Canelo? Yo, what up, Corey Lee? What up? What up? Is there some blame to Canelo for all this? Yeah, there's some blame for him because you should have been done this since the first time you signed with DAZN, man. Like, you should have done this the minute you fought Rocket Fielding. And shout out to Rocket Fielding. He's my guy. But, like, this is all crazy, man. And, like, this pandemic made it worse for DAZN. When I realized COVID hit, just the whole world, and based on how the zone is structured on sub counts, right? They make their money based on um, subscribers, right? Purchasing the zone monthly or yearly, whatnot. That's how they make their profits back in terms of the U.S. market. Knowing that Canal, you're paying him so much money, $365 million for an 11-fight deal, and then you're sitting him out because of COVID. And then, of course, if you're not putting in content, no fights on the zone, of course, you're going to have people not wanting to keep paying $20 a month or $100, the fight pass, whatever, the yearly pass, right? And Canelo, and then what I'm hearing, which is crazy. So now we find out that De La Hoya was only going to return, quote unquote, 95%. He was going to fight Canelo because the zone classified him as a premium opponent. They also said about Khabib, Khabib from the UFC, and Jorge Masvidal as premium opponents for Canelo. But yet, the zone says Kovalev, Jacobs aren't classified as a premium. So that's kind of weird. So this is what shows you that the zone really didn't care about the competitive aspect for Canelo Alvarez. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of fights the zone could have made if you want to quote unquote premium on just a technical definition of competitive in the boxing world, right? You have Calvin Smith, you have Billy Joe Saunders, you have Demetrius Andre, you got Triple G. They did say Triple G was a premium opponent, but Triple G had another route in his direction, right? There was a lot of options you could have gone. You could have done Jacobs rematch. He was a premium opponent. You could have offered, I know they're not DAZN fighters, but you could have done David Benavidez, Caleb Plant. Those are fighters. Charlos, those are all fighters that are considered premium, but yet you guys didn't even think about it. You guys like minimize these guys. So instead of giving these guys chances, you guys want to give De La Hoya, a guy that's 48 years old, hasn't fought since 2008 after his beating with Manny Pacquiao. Like, come on, like that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, well, Canelo, just put it like this, right? We're not going to see Canelo to like 2022, 2023. So whatever his last fight, I believe was Kovalev or Jacobs, whatever it was, you can forget about seeing Canelo for the rest of this year, the next year, and probably the end of 2022. Just like we seen Andre Ward had promotional issues, we seen Mikey Garcia promotion issues. I know Canelo's a little bit different, and based on the structure how it is, because Canelo, the reason for Canelo was that you sign Canelo, you also get all these young talent on Golden Boy. You know what I'm saying? So now with Canelo not fighting, it's going to hurt some of these fighters that were used to fighting on Canelo's undercards. You look at the development of Virgil Ortiz. You look at Flair de Blair. Jojo Diaz at one point was fighting undercards. Then you got these new guys up and coming fighting on the Canelo undercards. They're going to take a big hurt out of this, to be honest. So it's gonna suck. All parties is gonna suffer. De La Hoya and Golden Boy should have done their best in pleasing their client and Canelo Alvarez. Canelo has the luxury, has the star power to be his own promoter. Look at De La Hoya. He was with Top Rank. He left and beat Golden Promotions. Floyd, same thing. He left Bob Arum. He became. Then he did Mayweather Promotions. So Canelo has all the power in the world to become a big promoter, and he now has, depending how the outcome of this lawsuit unfolds, if he is free and is able to be, make his own fights and fight in any, what is it, broadcast, networks, make sign up with Fox or Showtime where you can include your fighters. Does the zone care about boxing? Yeah, I probably, yo, good thing you told me that. You know what it was? I put the zone, but it auto correct me, so my bad about that, guys. But anyways, like I was saying, like he does have the star power, and looking at this type of deal, Showtime was actually losing some money. If you look at it in history, right? When Floyd signed that 6-fight deal with Showtime, um, yeah, I could definitely ask him. I'm actually gonna see him on the weekend. But look, think about it like this, right? Showtime did lose some money when they signed Mayweather for that 6-fight deal. I think it was like $150 million deal at the time, right? Um, Floyd fought Robert Guerrero. He fought Marcus Maidana twice. Canelo, Pacquiao, and Berto. Out of the 6 fights, they probably lost two, maybe let's say two. Yeah, 2 out of the 6 fights, they didn't make any money. You know what I mean? They were more of a get busy or tune-up fight for Floyd Mayweather. But they honored the contract. They still paid the man what he was worth. And with the zone, they should have just honored that contract. And it is what it is. Unfortunate how the world is played out right now isn't convenient for nobody, to be honest. And I hate to say that, because the zone has always, treated me well. But it's like almost like MLB, NBA. You sign these guys, you gotta honor them. If you want to release them, you guarantee them a percentage, right? So I'm very curious to see how this plays out. If Canelo wins, it's gonna be crazy. Uh, yeah, that is true. Floyd did do pay-per-view. I completely understand that he did do pay-per-view, but I'm saying in the long run, Showtime took the gamble. I know they lost some money, but they still honored the contract. They still paid the man what was it, $150 million, right? And Showtime didn't. They lost at the end. You know what I'm saying? But um, Canelo, yeah, they wanted to do Canelo Triple G, but for next year, 2021. Like I said, I've always been advocating for a fight with um, Canelo and Demetrius Andre, Canelo Charlo, Canelo Benavidez. I mean, those are the names I would like to see them fight. But for some reason, I don't know who to blame and why we're not demanding these type of fights. If it's promoters, no, yeah, I mean, yeah. The guy that he was gonna fight for that WBC at 168, I was not pleased with it either. But I seen it coming because at the end of the day, sanctioning bodies want to make the money. So it's really unfortunate that we as fight fans and people that love the sport are hurt, right? We have to deal with these type of matchups. But that's the only thing I'll say. Like, I was laughing when I heard about that De La Hoya coming back to fight Canelo. It would have made sense, you know what I'm saying? Like, conflict wise, they're not in the best terms. I know that De La Hoya wasn't even going to Canelo's events and type shit when he last fought. So, I mean, it's just sad to see that the zone cares about the sub growth, right? Rather than the competitive, the legitimacy of boxing. So it hurts, if the zone, and then shout out to all my friends that work in the zone because I know some of my friends got laid off on the zone, and I never want to hear that because if that was me getting laid off from a job that I would have dreamt about years, I would have been hurt. But yeah, it is all business. It is all business. Canelo wants to get at least $280 million in damages. Is he gonna get it? I have no idea. But it's gonna play out a long, long while, especially with this whole COVID. Everything's probably going through virtual. I don't think the zone's broke. From what I can tell you, the zone is not dead. Yes, there are dead in the U.S. market, I think in other countries they're doing very substantially well. I think in the U.S. they realize that there's too much competition out there. Um, there's a lot of sports. There's a lot of other popular sports rather than boxing. I think what the zone done is invest and give out. I think they were overpaying too many fighters, which at the end of the day, the fighters deserve it. Shout out to every fighter. If you guys took advantage and you got paid for that, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations. You took advantage of the market at the time, and you took advantage of a situation that maybe you will never get in your life again. Complain about other fighters not getting paid. Yeah, yeah. But then again, fighters too have to. I mean, you know what too? Like team. I don't know how Team Canelo rolls because I don't really know them like that. But all I could tell you is with the Willie Monroe, Demetrius Andre, who else do I know? Sergey Derbachenko. They got lowballed. I could confirm that to you. Like, I've seen the numbers. I've talked to Demetrius Andre about this. You don't offer a world champion less than $1 million or $1 million for a fight. You don't offer Sergey Derbachenko last minute $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Um, you just don't do that. And then Willie Monroe, they were trying to low him out too. But what I'm saying is, Demetrius Andre is a world champion. You do not lowball him $1 million or less than $1 million. Like, you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. Um, Promoters got to make the money, and the fighters feel entitled, and they feel like they could offer whatever they feel like that fighter should make. Yeah, Canelo offered less than $1 million. All I can say is something of that nature. I won't give you the exact number, but I could say it's around less around there. Yeah. So who made the offer? Golden Boy. So basically, maybe yeah, it didn't help. Yeah. Canelo only got Canelo did fight. You know what I'm saying? But like, I mean, if Canelo was smart, he should have been worth more. But then again, Canelo looked at it for an opportunity standpoint. Like I said, you could. I mean, like I said, every situation is different. But if your money is guaranteed, just take it. You know what I'm saying? Some fighters fight for an opportunity, which Canelo did with Mayweather. I was telling Willie and all these guys, I know this shit sucks that you're getting lowball, but just take it. If you win, you're gonna double your money. Look at Andy Ruiz. He got what, $5-6 million against Joshua. Come the rematch, he made what, $11 million? Exactly. But I tell these guys, but at the end of the day, you gotta look at it like this, right? If a fighter is offered $800,000, right? Let's say for example, right? Let's just say for example, Willie Monroe wins. He beats Canelo, right? That 3%. Let's say he picks up all the titles, WBC and WBA. That's 6% he's giving out to sanctioned bodies, right? Then you got to give 10% to your head coach. Then you got to give another 3% to your manager, and then another percentage to your promoter. So at the end of the day, Willie Monroe, let's say for example, right, quote unquote, he's probably leaving after taxes. He's probably leaving with like $90,000, $100,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a lot of money he's giving up just to get $100,000. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's tough. But what do you guys think about this Canelo shit? I mean, yeah, it was meant to happen. Like, it just sucks. You know what I'm saying? The face of boxing shouldn't be sitting out. You know what I'm saying? Look at how many years, how many good prime years, um, we seen of Andre Ward lost, and a good prime years we seen Mikey Garcia lost. 2 years, right? Demetrius Johnson, another good example with the promoters. We didn't see him in action for like a year and change, or maybe even two, but probably a year and change. He got stripped, right? Canelo's in his prime. He's in his shits, and this sport of boxing is about momentum, right? If the face of boxing, right? If the la cara de boxeo, the face of boxing, is not fighting at all in a yearly basis, what's gonna happen? You're gonna get replaced. So we look at Gervonta Davis, the Ryan Garcias, the Fima Lopez, the Errol Spencers of the world. Uh, we could all possibly look at the Charlos. So any fighter that is like a star in boxing, but not the superstar that Canelo is, this is where y'all take your advantage and you eclipse yourself to the next level. So if Canelo is out till 2022, 2023, take this approach, and because that spot's gonna be vacated. So because Canelo's gonna be out of the shelf, you can't. He's not the face of boxing if he's not fighting, right? And with this, you know what I mean, with this lawsuit in place, he's not gonna fight. So this leaves open for the next face of boxing. But like I'm saying, who's gonna vacate? Who's gonna take this advantage and solidify their spot as the face of boxing? There's a lot of great names for the next year and a half. Who knows who will find that next face of boxing? But take advantage. I have like 8 names in my mind that I feel could be that face of boxing. It's all about matchups, and all those promoters out there that are worried, don't be worried. Risk, because the face of boxing comes around maybe once in every 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, yeah, Canelo does fight for legacy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but you know what hurts me the most when when Callum Smith and Billy Joe were offered, but DAZN wasn't with it. You know what I'm saying? Like they were with it, but they were trying to give Canelo that like less amount of money rather than the $35 million per fight. Which at the end of the day, it sucks. But DAZN just got to honor it. But I mean, if they're out of money, what can you do, right? Just like any other big corporate business, small business, you can't pay somebody. I mean, I know you got to pay. You eventually got to pay them, but if you don't got it, you don't got it. But anyway, listen, guys, it's been a crazy talk. Let's keep in touch. I'm gonna be back on live tomorrow. I should be calling Bomac again tonight. We should be doing an interview. Gary Russell, Devin Haney. I'm gonna call Gary Russell tonight. Devin Haney's father tonight as well. We're gonna see what's the current update on that fight. I also want to get on the phone Danny Garcia. So I'll try to get him on the phone. And Teofimo Lopez, I will be seeing him again possibly in 2 weeks. I have one of my friends that are doing him a big painting for his fight against Lomachenko. So once once um once we finish that painting, I'll be definitely going on live for you guys to hang out with Teofimo Lopez on my YouTube live. Um, why am I not what? Because that's a good question. Um, yeah, it's a good question. I'm gonna go a lot more though. I've been caught up, been working out, trying to get into my next fight and shit. But I'm gonna be back live tomorrow though. Alright, guys. See you later, guys. Peace. Yeah.